What is going on, SoFi fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk on why today is a very important day for SoFi and its investors. I'm going to explain what that is, and also I'm going to go over some updated data points and do some little bit more technical analysis, give you a good projection of where SoFi is currently sitting at and where it could go in the short term. But before I get into any of that though, making sure you guys hit that thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Greatly appreciate that. If you like my channel, want to support the growth, take a look at my memberships. Link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that, let's get right to it. Bottom of the screen, you can see live ticker. It is almost up 5%. Very big day for SoFi. 10.7 million shares as far as overall volume today, and that is substantially high within the first hour and a half of the trading day. So definitely a very good day for SoFi, and that is going to kind of match in line with what I'm going to be talking on as well. Average volume is 53.1 million shares, and that is a 6-month average, and 1.6 million shares being purchased by institutions and hedge funds just today alone. And that is just based on the secondary market. I have been referring to the dark pool several different times over the last couple of videos because I have been really watching that, because you can see a lot of big money has been buying. Looking here, you can see all the institutional purchasing that was done yesterday. Actually, I'm just going to refresh this so you can see if there was any done today. So far, roughly only 898,000 and 481,000, but even more so looking at yesterday. Yesterday was a very big day, so 1.14 million, 8.42 million, and look at this, 22.4 million as far as one transaction. Big money has been buying this whole time over the last several weeks. A lot of people should not be ignoring that point. That is a very big deal. Keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own due diligence at the end of the day. But like I said at the very beginning, today is a very important day for SoFi because they do get added to that Russell 3000 index starting tomorrow as of the 24th. So a lot of institutions are going to be necessarily buying today. So today, near the tail end, you're going to see a significant increase as far as institutional purchasing. Again, this is very good for SoFi, adds a lot more institutional backing, adds a lot more liquidity. It is a win-win overall. But again, you can already tell that right now based on the live ticker at the very bottom. Couple of things I do want to go over. Like I said, go over some updated data points, things that is floating around for SoFi. As far as this, so traffic. A lot of people associate the traffic that is going to SoFi.com and kind of in relation to customers, because right now on a quarter by quarter basis, a lot of people are looking at the number of customers and obviously wanting a increase. So you can see a nice increase from March, April, and May. So obviously April, May, and June are all going to attribute part of the Q2. But overall, you can see it is continuously increasing. That is a very positive sign. And in addition to that though, as far as options activity, it's not always been the best. Mostly overall though has been very much bullish. You can see recently there was some $4.50 puts, which at the end of the day is very bullish. And looking here, there is a lot of big money getting in, not necessarily as much as it used to be, but still is fairly positive if you ask me. And a couple articles I just wanted to touch on before I continue to go over some data points that I found very interesting. So JP Morgan's been doing a lot of strategic kind of moving of assets recently, but looking right here, they do see a round trip, so a nice rebound in the S&P 500. So very beneficial for SoFi because in reality, we've been hit extremely hard. So the fact that JP Morgan is anticipating a nice reversal for the tail end of 2022 is very optimistic. And more so as well, JP Morgan did actually rotate out of real estate and did back up the bus for cryptocurrency. So that as well shows that there's a lot more institutions willing to take on more additional risk. When it comes down to SoFi, yes, it is a high risk, high return investment because they are trying to disrupt one of the oldest sectors known to the whole stock market. So that's not an easy task. We all know that there's been a lot of manipulation and a lot of hating on SoFi. But in reality, the way I see it is the fact that a lot of people are talking about SoFi is a very positive thing, shows that there is a lot of fear on what SoFi can actually do. Because a lot of institutions have SoFi as a direct competition now. So it is rightfully so, in their head at least, to downgrade SoFi in multiple different cases. So I see that as a very strong positive and shows that SoFi is doing a lot of good things. And like I've always said in a lot of other videos, consumers. Consumers have really been holding the economy up, and they've been doing that by continuously still spending money, still maintaining their employment. And you can see right here, a payroll firm does say that the data is suggesting that the US jobs market is strengthening. So again, this is kind of anticipating that there may not be an actual recession, because there is a lot of institutions out there continuously shouting, saying that there's a recession causing a lot of fear. But like I said, going back to this, a lot of big money has been buying over the last several weeks, so you can't really ignore that point. But as well, just wanted to go over some other points like I mentioned, one of which is short interest. I like to use that as a good benchmark. Right now the short score is 71.88, and that is ultimately the likelihood of a short squeeze occurring, and that is comprised by utilization, which is 100%, shows 100% of the available shares to short are currently out. Short interest, which is 1603, which has gone down significantly. It was a high of around 24, I believe. And cost to borrow, 2.89%. And once again, you get to experience manipulation, and that is right here, cost to borrow minimum. That shows what a broker is charging, but in reality, you can see it is negative, so negative 0.07. So that is showing that a broker is actually out there paying people to short SoFi. So once again, there is a lot of manipulation, and there is a lot of institutions and shorts that want SoFi to get below that $5 threshold, because that is one of the big negatives for SoFi, especially around this $5 range. But I don't see us getting to that, in my opinion. But like I said, there is a lot of manipulation on SoFi, and just wanted to talk on options activity. So today, as far as that, 81,000, so not too much, only 36% positive. Yesterday, 115,000 as far as options, 100% positive. So like I mentioned about this, options haven't really necessarily been the most popular for SoFi, only because of the spread and how much volatility there is. But when it comes down to it, I'm just going to tie it all together with some technical analysis. So looking here, I have the RSI, stochastic, and momentum as far as indicators. I have the 50, 100, and 200-day moving averages and Bollinger Bands on the actual chart. Still lower percentile of the Bollinger Band. Recently, it does look like that 50-day moving average did bounce off of that central Bollinger Band, which in reality shows a continuation, or a nice trend is starting to form, a bullish trend, I should clarify. Stochastic is extremely oversold at 15. Anything below 20 is a great buying opportunity, but you can see that there is a small deviation starting to form, black line above the red, showing a nice bullish trend. And looking at momentum, number of buyers has been maintaining itself, which in reality can be seen as a very positive sign. And quickly looking on the Fibonacci, just want to show you some pivot points. Right now you can see a pivot point of $6.78. That is the next point to watch for. We are currently between that S1 and the pivot, so in reality we're doing fairly well. Like I've always continuously said, is that we are doing fairly well compared to other growth stocks. A lot of people don't necessarily think that per se, but truly SoFi is doing fairly well given the rest of the broader market. But with that, let me know in the comments below what you think about SoFi, where you think it's going in the short term. Obviously today is a very successful day for SoFi, and a lot of things are starting to look like it is rebounding. So let me know your thoughts on that. On a side note as well, let me know your thoughts if you think a recession is still going to happen, because out of everything, maybe I'm the only individual that seems to be the most optimistic. I don't know. I don't think that there is going to be a full-on recession of what they're talking about. Maybe in 2023, 2024, but definitely not in 2022. I could be wrong though, so let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Greatly appreciate that. And again, if you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that, I appreciate you guys watching, and let's all make a lot of money on SoFi.